Well, good morning. Thursday morning, 5:52 a.m., August 11th, 2022 on the East Coast of the United States. I'm back in the United States after 5 weeks in Germany, Austria, and Italy. And golly, I'll tell you what I ended up deciding about how I like my coffee. But first, shaking up some almond milk here because I'll give you a little hint about something. Had the opportunity to have all kinds of milk and cream, and I also had almond milk. Let me pop this in the microwave here and heat it up. And I tried all sorts of coffee machines, everything from, you know, those metal little machines where you press it down and express the espresso sort of the old-timey way, and big fancy, you know, metallic, pretty machines, pretty gorgeous with all sorts of, you know, decorations in the metal and everything. And then a lot of people had newfangled kind of machines, like, oh, here's the milk, ones where they did everything. You know, they, of course, ground the beans. Let me pop this in the fridge. Not much has changed here. They, you know, ground the beans. You chose what kind of coffee you wanted on a kind of digital display. Did you want espresso, and did you want the strength of 1 bean, 2 bean, or 3 bean? Did you want a macchiato, latte macchiato? Did you want a cappuccino? Did you want a cafe crema, which is, it's kind of like a cafe Americano, basically. It's espresso with more water in it. Over there, they call it a cafe crema. Oh, good. My Pixie's heated up here. And some machines had other choices, too. Let me get a coffee here. You know what I'm going to get. I have missed having my Napoli, so I'm going to go ahead and pop that in here. Let me just make this and I'll continue. Okay. And you know, I went to an Nespresso boutique in Nuremberg. That was very interesting. Very sleek and modern. And the coffee was a lot cheaper than it is over here. But no, I didn't get any because I have so much here, you know. Now, as I was coming back, after I was already gone from Nuremberg, I saw that Nespresso was raising prices, so I kind of wish I had gotten a bunch. It's okay. So, these fancy newfangled machines, you know, they all had a steamer, you know, milk frother that frothed it with steam. And if you were making, for example, a latte macchiato, this is all you did. You put your cup or your glass underneath the spout of the machine that also has a steamer on it, and it has the little thing that the espresso comes out of. You push the button. The beans would grind up. They would go wherever they need to go in the machine. The machine would start frothing the milk up. I mean, you're just standing there waiting. And then, you know, when it's all done frothing it just the right amount for what you chose, because for a latte or a cappuccino or other various things, you froth different amounts of the milk and leave part of it liquid and part of it froth. Anyway, and then the espresso would go in, and then the machine would shut off, and you take your drink that normally a barista might have made at a coffee place for you, you know, each step by hand. The machine just does it all. So this is what I found, that different machines, of course, did things slightly differently, but the coffee itself the beans are what made a difference. Now, interestingly, my beautiful cup of coffee, interestingly, one of the coffees that I liked the best was a very cheap German coffee. And what's interesting is that the place that we stayed in Italy was run by a woman from Austria. And she would buy these cheap German coffee beans, not because they were cheap, but because they tasted so good. They were like, you know, they call it bio, B-I-O, we'd say bio, or, you know, grown without pesticides and blah, 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 you know, all the sort of natural stuff. Organic, okay? Organic is what bio is. And she would make that coffee at her place, and she said even the Italians loved it. So that's saying a lot. But anyway, you know, just making the point that the kind of coffee, you got to find a kind of coffee bean that you like. Let me take a sip. So this is the conclusion I came to. And I know some of you are going to be disappointed in me. You're going to say, what? What is wrong with you? There was really only one place where I liked the coffee. It was my daughter's father-in-law, because we stayed with them for about a week in Nuremberg and in Füssen, both in Bavaria in Germany. He would make the coffee with one of those, you know, little shh, where you push the handle down and it, you know, makes the pressure. And of course, that machine, even though it's very simple and all, it also does froth milk. Probably, you know, it's $600 or $700. But it's a lot more manual than these other things I've been talking about. And it's, you know, straightforward, silver-looking metal, no fancy-dancy things on it. Just has like a pressure gauge, and you let the water heat up. It's plugged in, you know, it's electric. And but you do the expression of the coffee by pushing the handle yourself. Anyhow, he has beans specially ground, and he's been making coffee for who knows how many years. He's my age. It was always fantastic. He would basically froth milk and pour it over the espresso. Wonderful. Well, the next best coffee that I like, I'll be honest with you, it's my Nespresso with almond milk. Yep. Now, one of the things I think that makes me like it is I've become very accustomed to it. I really do think, I believe this, and I've seen it happen. You know, I always say, and I teach people too when I health coach, what you give your body, it will crave. Now, maybe you're someplace where the coffee is kind of, you know, not so great. But you know what? If you drink it exclusively over a period of time, you're going to come to, you'll be accustomed to it, and you'll even get to like it. It'll become familiar to you. Often you'll associate flavors, odors with what's going on around you. You know, so I guess I associate my Nespresso with being happy at home or going to my daughter's house and being happy. So the flavor is not just strictly a scientific or biological or physiological thing with the taste and the aroma. It's also a psychological thing. Now, I'm trying to figure out, you know, what can I possibly do these next mornings now? You know, I've made all kinds of different coffees, but how can I do things differently rather than, you know, I've told you about my trip. If you have any ideas of what you'd like to see or hear, let me know. And I hope you're not disappointed that I come back and here I'm having an Nespresso Napoli capsule from my Pixie machine, the original line, with warmed up almond milk. It's not even frothed. And this is what I like. It's just nice. It kind of says home to me. I used to be the kind of person that liked, you know, fancy coffee drinks that were sweet, usually. Of course, now, the whole time I was away, also, I didn't put any kind of sweetening in my coffee. I don't do that anymore because I appreciate the flavor of the coffee itself. And the milk did make a difference. One last thing I'll say is that because of, you know, I've always said I like to chew my calories. So I use 30-calorie almond milk rather than other milks that are higher in calories. I used to love to have an excuse to have whole milk. Oh my goodness. Well, over in Germany, there are a lot of places where the real low-calorie stuff that we can get in America is just not available, especially in the smaller cities and towns. So I would have to have milk that was closer to whole milk many times. Even the almond milk was a lot higher calorie than what we get here. And you know what? I've kind of lost my taste for that stuff. I like the 30 or maybe 60-calorie almond milk, maybe 90 calories if I have to. But isn't it interesting how our tastes can change? Anyway, please put in the comments anything you'd like to, you know, have me do or talk about or try. I would love to do that because I'm not quite sure what to do now. You know, or if I should continue trying to concoct all sorts of coffee drinks. Well, anyway, it's 6:04 a.m. I'm going to start my day trying to overcome jet lag here. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you're happy with your coffee. And if you're not, keep looking. And remember, what you give your body, it will crave. So if you're stuck with coffee that maybe you don't prefer, after a while, you may get used to it and like it. Good to be home. Okay, now you know what? Facebook has changed how these live videos work. And I don't, oh, finish, that must be it. There's all kinds of different symbols now. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Get back with me, okay?